hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome. I hope everyone is well. Your eyes are not deceiving you. I am Miss Krissi Luv. Thank you for coming to know your role. My tag partner is not here because she was at the show today, live there and in person. So I can't wait to talk to her next week. But I have a lovely special guest host with me. Tell them who you are, my dear.
I'm Astrid. Well, you probably have seen my writing on BodySlam, but I think this is my first time on BodySlam live.
Oh,
But yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. So you see my writing every now and then. I've been on a little hiatus, but it'll come back soon enough. But a lot of writing, and if I'm not writing, I'm doing my podcasting as well. So there you go. That's what I do usually.
Thank you, Astrid, for joining me today. Thank you all for joining us. Sorry, we're a couple of minutes late, but hey, I hope everyone, a little CP time, technical difficulties. This is my second time doing this. So, this is what it is. But what a SmackDown episode. I mean, some highs and some lows and a whole lot of other stuff that happened along the way to our road to WrestleMania. I think we're like almost 40 days to WrestleMania. If I'm not correct, maybe I might don't have the exact number, but thank you all for joining us for this tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDowns Know Your Role review. Should we just dive on in then? We had about a 40-minute segment. I mean, Roman took about 15 minutes to come out, do his thing, and then, the bloodline is there, and then The Rock came and he did his stuff, and like, okay, 8:15, 8:20, 8:30. Okay, The Rock is going on and on. Okay. It took 40 minutes for the segment.
Yeah.
40 minutes for The Rock to explain, show his love, and, call the people in Arizona meth crackheads, and a whole bunch of, I didn't even write them down because it was just like a whole lot of stuff. I was like, oh, we're going like all in, like we're going like in like, I don't know what to even say. What about you, Astrid?
I just thought I had to write it down because I'm like, I knew I was not gonna remember the names, but it was Crackhead Karen and Meth Mary. So that's why they called everybody in the arena. It's like, and then I think he also mentioned, because I believe it was Roman that started it. He called the town Glendale beforehand, so he was kind of like making it like a fix up, to put it like that, in that sense of it. When he's like, you guys are a couple miles from Glendale, so it's basically the same thing. So it's all right. So I thought that part of like saving him was kind of funny, but other than that, I'm just like, those jokes are just like so old at this point that I was like, it's not even funny anymore after that. I was like, can we be done? And like you said, just going back at the clock, I was like, okay, 8:40. This is definitely gonna get cut from the girls' matches, isn't it? Yeah, okay, good to know.
And he already like solidified and said night 1 and night 2. So, we already kind of knew going into this, like once he was involved, there was no way the girls can get a night. So I've been saying maybe the girls definitely open up the shows. At least one of the nights they have to open up. One of them. Hopefully Bailey gets that chance where she sets the tone. I mean, the other ladies can, they can sit in the middle of the pack because they don't really need to be doing those things. They've done it already. So I'm not giving anything to them, but I'm just saying that he's already set the tone of what we're going to expect. You come out and you say, no, you say, bitch ass Cody, you're not going to go one-on-one against me. No, we're going to do a tag match. So we're just since you're the boss now, because he said he's one of the boss, he's one of the board members. You're just making matches and just doing it yourself. Like, we're not even going to like lead into like have a discussion. You guys are not going to jump Cody or Seth. We're not even getting into that. We're just going to make matches. This is where we're at right now. 40 days away. And it's like, sure. And then night 2, then you're making stipulations as well. I was like, oh, not even Nick Aldis, Triple H. What's the other guy on Raw? What's the general manager name? Adam Pearce. Yes, Adam Pearce. None of these people making the decisions. It's all The Rock. We're having a street fight as our main event, and if Cody wins, him and Seth, None of the bloodline can be at ringside the next day. So I don't know how or what we're going to get. I like it, but I'm like, let's just play a little bit. And don't give me if you're gonna give me a 4-course meal or like a 3-course meal, like don't give me everything all at once. I want to like leave me up to my main course. Does that make sense? I want to leave a little for dessert, things like that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm, and then Roman, as we all had seen tonight, as The Rock was about to close out, Roman stops him midway. And if I could have paused my screen to get everyone in a shot, goosebumps. That was goosebumps for me. That was the best part of the whole spiel of the 40 minutes that we had to endure, is when The Rock stops him. And then, I mean, best supporting actor has to go to Paul Heyman, because that's his face. The facial expressions himself is like, what? He's like, no, you have to acknowledge me. And I was like, oh, we're doing this now. Okay. And he's like, I'll do anything for they always talk about family. It's all about the family. And he said, I acknowledge you. And I was just like, oh, if this is not like writings on the wall of what's coming, guys, I don't know what to tell you, friends. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. How are you feeling about it, Astrid?
Yeah, I feel like the ending was definitely like more like the best part in that sense. Like you said, like not only Roman interrupting him, but even before him, before The Rock came out, when Heyman's like, The Rock is gonna come out after this commercial break, and Roman's facial expression is like I don't want him here.
Right, like
it looked kind of funny for like that build up.
Yeah.
Those kind of little pieces that they put up is what I love about the segment more than anything. Like you said, him interrupting him and just going like, no, we're gonna do my part too. And having The Rock of all people say, I acknowledge you, you're the tribal chief. That's when I went, okay, you got my attention now. Finally. And just that part, that was the best part. It's like just their facial expressions, like that part, the hug, because you know what, like somebody mentioned on Twitter, the hug is part of like that story. And the hug, if we don't see The Rock's facial expression, we only see Roman. So that's another interesting part of it. She's like, they kind of hit that from us in that sense of it. So it's like that part, I was like, okay, I like the little hints of the facial expressions. We could have just done this a little bit shorter. That would have been better. But.
Right. It could have just been down a little, maybe 20 minutes, not 40. We didn't need 40. You could have opened up the show and had Roman already in the ring, but he has to come out. I mean, he is the champ, so I guess you got to give him his grace and come out. But yeah, it's just the stories that are being told and the supporting actors that are all like getting this cast, because remember, the story was getting very stale, and I think the story is going back full force now since we have The Rock in this. And let's see what happens. He said he'll be there next week, right? And then he's gonna be I guess he's gonna keep being at SmackDown. I want to see them come to Raw. Like, if we're gonna make this story like, well, maybe not next week. We don't have to see him next week, but like at least like 2 to 3 weeks before we get to Philly, we gotta get you. We gotta get you on Raw.
It's only SmackDown. Yeah, I think that's why they make it easier by having Cody and Seth be part of SmackDown than actually showing up everybody on Raw. So that's the only part.
Okay, so we go to a commercial break after 40 long minutes of a segment. We come back to another segment backstage. We're like, oh my God, where's the matches? But we're here with Theory and Waller, of course, them being themselves as per usual. And they're making fun. They're looking at the chamber match, the men's chamber match on their phone, and they're making fun of Randy Orton. Why would you want to do that? I don't understand. Like, these guys must have a death wish. But anywho, unbeknownst to them,
rookie move.
There we go. Good answer. Unbeknownst to them, Randy is right behind him. Like, hey guys, and they were like, they could if they could only like see their faces of like Randy behind him, and of course Grayson like throws Theory right underneath the bus. So he's like, all right, no problem. We'll just have a match. I'll see you later. And he's like, why would you do that? It's like just like two. Just like it's classic heels, classic like bros doing like foolishness. It was like good stuff. Now, here comes where it gets real fuzzy for me, friend. After we had the segment, they pan to the ring. And our girl Naomi is in the ring. Didn't show her come through. Not even an entrance, nothing. They didn't even really, we didn't even hear them introduce her. Like, we didn't hear anything. The only thing we seen, we had Tiffany coming out, and she's going in a match against Naomi. I'm like, oh no. See, Naomi, this is what you came back to, the foolishness. You've already lost twice. You lost in the, we knew you wasn't winning Royal Rumble. Okay. We knew Chamber, we kind of knew that too. But now you got to go against Tiffany, which is fine. Athlete against athlete. Show your stuff. Show your moves. But then our girl loses. Tell me how you feeling about Naomi, girl.
I knew this was the match, but then when they announced and in the ring already her opponent, I'm like, I thought it was Naomi, so why don't we get a Naomi entrance? And I thought maybe they switched up the opponent, because usually that's like what the jobber gets. They're like, oh, already in the ring kind of person.
Right.
So when they pan on the show Naomi, I'm like, I don't even get to hear the song to go with the glow. Nothing.
Like nothing. We want to feel the glow. Like the audience felt the glow, but we didn't get to feel the glow.
No. Not fair.
Women's History Month, guys. Black History Month just finished. Like, how y'all doing this to us? It's unfair for the veteran that she is, the treatment. I get what they're doing for Tiffany. That she giving Tiff a great push. No shade, I promise you. No, because I love Tiffany Stratton. I stand for her. However, Naomi just got back, and you guys are like giving our girl like I don't even know like what to say. Like I was just like lost for words.
That's the best way I can describe it. Just that's it. That's all you get.
She didn't even get the 4-course meal. She barely got the appetizer.
No.
She barely. I mean, it's
yeah.
And for her to lose, I know they're pushing Tiffany, but like, come on, guys. Like Tiffany doesn't need to be pushed so fast because Tiffany just got here. Naomi came back for a reason, and you guys are not. I don't know. But that was our first match of the night after a 40-minute entrance and promo and whatnot. Then we go to a commercial, come back for a video package with Damage Control, Bailey, giving the whole thing about Bailey, pushing the Bailey match against Io. And they show what happened last week. If no one didn't watch last week's episode, which was pre-recorded, Dakota got attacked by Io, Kyrie, and Asuka. So, made Bailey believe like, oh my God, you're on my side. We can be, I trust you. We can do this. Like you're my girl. So, we have this tag match now, which is great. We're showing the little things, which we already knew what was we knew this was happening. Let's have, Bailey and Dakota be, frenemies supposedly, and like still get this job done against the other part of Damage Control. I did not expect this to happen this week. Did you, Astrid?
Yeah, I definitely felt it with the match, and the first clue was like, oh, they attacked me, but there's no evidence of it. That was my first clue whatsoever.
Right.
Because usually when you get attacked, they show it backstage
they
somehow,
show
whether it's digital exclusive or during the show in itself. There's no video whatsoever showing that she was attacked. That was the first thing, the first red flag. Bailey, come on, the first one. The second one was definitely be like, no, I'm in it with you. And it's like, this whole time just gaslighting her every time they're going against her. It's like, no, they're, this is what they mean. They don't mean anything bad. She's always trying to like make Bailey feel like you're the only one seeing this. That's my second clue. And the third one was definitely the match in itself. I had a feeling that was going to happen during the match, so it's nothing like to me it was already written once the match started. It's like I was just waiting to see how long it took for it to happen, though. That was my thoughts in my head as this was going through. So she should have known it was going to happen. So
I mean, I knew it was happening, but Jesus, guys, like, give us some time to get where we need to go. Like, give us let the girls do this story. Like, I feel like it's so rushed, and it's such a disservice to Bayley that we are not giving she's not getting the full effect that she deserves as an opponent that is going that's going to be like the next champion. I feel like. I guess everyone knew that they wasn't going to tag, like as Gregory said. I mean, like, I just feel like it's being very rushed, and it's like not fair to these girls, especially Bayley at that.
I think the part that I'm expecting sometime soon is whoever's gonna face the Kabuki Warriors at WrestleMania is probably gonna end up being on Bayley's side, so that we're
Okay.
leading up to WrestleMania. They kind of have maybe a tag match to maybe a week or two before the show. Have
Probably
Bayley
so.
and that tag team versus the Kabuki Warriors, and one of the ones from Damage Control, whether it's Io or Dakota, probably Dakota in itself. And kind of leading up to like the two separate matches in that aspect, because right now we keep seeing Bailey's by herself somehow. Bailey's
Yes, like she
totally
has no
alone. She
allies,
has no backup,
allies.
and it makes sense in the way of the story because being with Damage Control, she burned a lot of bridges with people, so you don't expect them to come and actually defend her, which is another thing
Mm,
to it. So it's like if you see like the
that's
people like the
true.
Charlotte and like the Shotzi, they got atomic Damage Control because of Bailey. So they're not, if they were there, they were not gonna go and help her. Like
Right. Who are
Mia
both
too,
injured.
Zelina, all those people on SmackDown, they
Right.
all got beat up by Damage Control somehow with Bailey leading the charge. So I don't expect them to be helping her whatsoever in that aspect. But I
Yes.
feel like maybe somebody from Raw that would be going against the Kabuki Warriors would make a little bit more sense because they haven't gotten attacked by Damage Control in the past. That would be my
Right.
only thought in that process.
Yeah. They did a DQ. No one won the match at all. Like, they came and they just like beat Bailey up, and they took her down, and like no one came out to help her. So she probably will have to like come to Raw, get someone to like rally for her, and get someone to be on her side. But yeah, they most yeah, yes, George, I definitely think that's coming at Mania for sure. Whoever that team would be, I'm not sure who the team should be next, huh? That's actually a great question. Who do you think maybe
Yeah,
should be
because we haven't seen a lot of Casey and Caden since they lost much
right?
in that aspect. And we had a little video between Indy and Candice there, so I don't know if they're trying to like build them back up to be a little bit stronger for next time. I don't know what they're doing in that aspect of it, but there's not a lot of teams going out right now.
There's not a
So
lot of like tag teams that I could see that say, you know what, they can be the next champs. Except Isla and
mhm.
what's the girl name? Jesus, Alba
Yeah, it's
Fire.
Alpine Island. Yeah.
Alba and Isla. But those are heels as well. So I don't know how that would work. So we need a face to like be champs. We just had a face, so I don't know. We'll see. Then we had Braun Breaker come out and face Zion. First of all, I had to go and look for Zion's name because I don't even remember them saying Zion's name. They did it so fast. He's another one that didn't get an intro, like as per jobbers do. Like, he was just standing there, the guy from NXT, poor thing. He looked different because he doesn't have much facial hair now or whatever. But
Yeah.
Zion came out, and Zion was gone in 2 seconds because they're giving Braun like the Goldberg effect, I feel like.
Yeah.
Is it me, or he's like Goldberg like for this era, like 2.0 or whatever? Like, he was just
Yeah,
on
yeah.
NXT 2.0. Now he's Goldberg 2.0. Like, what are we doing?
I think it's similar in that aspect to Tiffany, just a matter of like they want to build him up and get people to get to know him. So they're just building him up with wins. It doesn't matter who's in the path, to be
In 2
honest.
seconds,
So
though? Like, jeez.
yeah,
I mean,
I felt so bad.
I
I
mean,
not only that, I felt bad for Zion because I enjoyed him in NXT and while he was against Legato, and then all of a sudden it just went downhill from there. He's been a free agent since the draft, and then this is the first time we see of him in like so many months, only for him to just
right.
go out in seconds.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Zion Quinn. See, you got the
Yeah.
whole name. Like, and I found out that's not even how you even spelled it. It's spelled, hold on. It is
It's
XYON.
mhm. Yeah.
But poor Zion didn't get Ion. He didn't even get a whole like entrance. He just came in the bell ring and speared 1, 2, 3. That's it. 2.2 seconds or whatever that was, and it was over. I'm like, okay, so we made a 40-minute entry, and now we just running through the damn show. Like we gotta get to the end because we gotta hurry. We gotta hurry up. We got stuff to do. Let's go. Like Braun was in and out. Thank you for your services. You can go home.
They should have just kept the music going at that point.
I mean, girl, like I was like, what do we do? This episode is y'all had all good weeks. What happened? Like, what are you guys doing? Oh, Greggy said I'm being nice. 1 second. Okay, I'm okay. Sorry. Like, and it's just like I don't know. Like, it's okay. Commercial break again. We come back to another vignette. This time is about Carlos Escobar and his team against the LWO, leading up to the match against him, a street fight, against him and Carlito. We already knew the writing was on the wall when all 10 members all came out, each two, LWO, Santos, and it's just like good street. I mean, decent street fight, sure. I mean, I would have wished more outside-ish in the crowd, or maybe outside-ish, like more weapons or table-ish stuff. But we knew that the people were going to get involved. And yeah, how did you feel about this match?
I like the match. It's just a matter of like, I knew it between the promo first to open the show. This was going to be a lot more shorter than we expected it to be, but at the same time, I knew it was shorter because I know this is something leading on to something bigger later on. So this is just like the introduction to it. So I was not expecting it to be too long either. I did have fun with the way it happened. Once I saw Rey Mysterio with the crutches, I was like, he's definitely going to hit them with them, isn't he? And then it happens. Like, okay, I already knew that was going to happen based on how it goes. But I even tweeted it out. I'm just hoping that for Mania, if we do get like a 4 versus 4, I would like to see at least with the ladies involved in there as well. That's what I want to see there, because I think that would be better for it. Yeah.
And don't do no WrestleMania thing on Friday foolishness. Like, put them on the show. You got enough space, do a pre-show. I don't know, but put them on the main show. You got enough. You got 2 days to fill this bad boy up. Let them be on like night 2, match number 3 or whatever. Like, I don't know, but like, let them be, or even like let the girls like do like a Friday night thing and then have the teams go. Like, let the girls go, whoever win, like we'll get like an advantage, or like they can like give a perk, like do something like that, like get the girls more involved. I feel like Zelina and Elektra have not gotten to get their hands on each other as of yet in the ring, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good idea to involve the girls somehow. That's why I in my mind, I think about it like a 4 versus 4 would be ideal for the way I see it, because it's not often that we get the ladies involved in the ring. So I think that will be a good opportunity for that to happen. And it's WrestleMania. They decide always to do those multi-person matches to get as many people on the card as possible.
Yes.
So
yes, we have to have at least one mixed tag match, or a match with guys and girls together. And maybe I believe this should be the one. Because we don't have any other factions that's going against each other that has guys and girls all together. So this would be, Judgment. Nah, that doesn't count. This is the one.
No, I think the other one would be Bobby Lashley's the Pride versus Karrion's Testament.
But they're not even doing that with them.
Yeah, I was like, plus the only thing with the girls in that aspect is like I know they're wrestlers, but they're more managers than wrestlers, so they don't have that much experience. Elektra has a little bit, and I know Zelina can actually help her through the match, versus these two are definitely 2 rookies, so it's a little bit more difficult in that aspect.
I agree. I actually didn't even think about street business or the street. They should be called street business, but whatever. They don't even have a name. And then they just got home. They just got Beef Fab. So Beef Fab is practicing. She's doing. She's getting work. She's in the performance center, but then they haven't been out there enough to do stuff. So I don't think that would be the match. They're probably going to put the Street Profits in a different match for the guys or whatever. Like, God, that's terrible. Like what they're doing to these guys. I can't believe it. But definitely think that they should be some form of like mixed tag match for this faction, or like this portion of this group of story for these guys. And yeah, with Ray coming back, I'm sure it's going to be like Ray, Carlito, or like Ray on the sideline, since he's still like part-time or half-time-ish or whatever.
Yeah.
I even seen like a little gray. I was like, did he dye his beard? Like, what's happening with through the mask? I was like, and then we have the whole mask, which is a cool mask, but I don't like that mask on him though. I feel like
it
it
just feels like
hides
it
him.
reveals more of his face in that aspect. Because once they close up, it looked kind of like, I don't want to say bigger, but like a little bit more open in his face. It was kind of like a Grey Buddha type of mask, so it like definitely make his face grow a little more than usual.
Yes. So yeah, he's not showing usually like what he usually does, but it is what he's always down for like saying
gear.
Like the gear, exactly.
My usual tag partner Ed has my ideas. Like, why not only do an 8-person tag? That's what I was thinking of, like having that 8-person tag at Mania. So maybe something like that will get.
Thank you, Ed. Yes. Again, have all 8. Yes, you can have all 8 because you have the girls, and yeah, if you count all of them, that is 4 and 4. Well, yeah, minus one of the guys.
Yeah, because knowing how we do Carlito, Ray, and have to pick between Joaquin and Del Cruz for one of them,
right? And then have one of the have the girls, right? Yeah, make it 8 on 8, 4 on 4. I like the 4 on 4 even better because it gets everyone all involved anyway. Just one guy, just from their side, would have to like sit down, but that's okay. I'm sure he'll be outside. He'll come in anyway, so it doesn't matter. But with the street fight, Carlito wins. Thanks to help from the LWO and Rey Mysterio. He did a 619. Of course, true fast, you have to do a 619. Why we can't have Rey Mysterio without the 619? Like that would be like blasphemy for me. Anyway. Anyhow, after that one, we got a backstage. We have, oh my God, the New Czech Republic. Why is this a name? Why is this a name for them? They did not have any names. Like I thought when they first had, I thought it was like really like, oh, he said, oh, I have a name for us. And I thought it was just like a dummy name. Like it's like he had no other names. He's like, okay, let's think about something else. Cause Pete Dunne didn't like it. But no, this is the New Catch Republic. Like, why is this a name? Like, what? Ciao.
No, not a fan of it. Yeah.
I hate it. Hated it. No.
It's like I watch NXT and NXT is a no quarter catch crew. So it's like, what is it with the no crew, whatever it's called? It's like, I don't like this. It's too similar.
It's just like, what? Do we not have a list of names? Like, I don't like who are these? Who works here? Like, I could have think of way better. I'll just call them by their 2 names. Pete.
Yeah.
And like I just he was Butch before, so what do we expect, right? Like, I mean, is then we get a sighting of they're talking backstage, and we got a sighting of Damage Control. Well, are they still Damage Control? Because now they're not with Bailey. They were talking and they're walking back, and Nick Aldis come. He said, well, no, excuse me. Before Nick, we had Jade come out and start looking Io up and down. Like Io's not afraid either. I was like, okay, Io, she is way taller than you, but I'm like, you're not scared of the giant that is called Jade, no problem. And she just like pointed at them, and like she was like, Nick was like, I don't have time for this, Jade, let's go. And then as he's walking away, we see LA Knight, and LA Knight is pissed. Why? Because of what he is looking for AJ Styles. And he tells Nick that he needs to find AJ. He's like, oh, well, I told AJ to stay home. You told him to stay home? I was like, I'll find him. Like, why are we telling people to stay home from work? Like, he didn't work last week. He got to work this week. Like, what's happening? Like, I'm guessing this is going to go for LA Knight and AJ to have a match. But it's like, what do we get from the match? Nothing.
No, because I thought it would have been involving Logan in there somehow, but they kind of moved on from that. So
yeah,
nothing in it.
Logan looks like he's going to be in a whole story with KO and Randy. So that's on another side. Like there's so much stories that could be done, but there's like other people that's just like waiting, like, hey, pick me. I'm ready to play in the game. You're not looking for me. Like, I don't know. Like I think we only got like 3 solidified matches so far. Everything else is just like up in the air. It's like bingo. B52. You're going against LA Knight. Like poor Jade doesn't even we don't even know what Jade is doing. Like Jade is still waiting in the Raptors. Like they gave a good vignette for her photo shoot type deal, but like what are we doing, people? Like, we're like 40 days away. We got this is our Super Bowl, and we have nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing's on paper. If you got something written down on paper, please tell us so we can know. Like, I'm not feeling like excited about the show yet, if that makes sense. Very underwhelmed. You see, she has nothing to say because she doesn't. Yeah, it's underwhelmed.
Yeah, just like it's just like I keep thinking first. I'm like the tag match with The Rock. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We kind of expected it, and then there goes the girls are not having a main event, so that's a downfall for me. And then why have Bailey win the Rumble and be like, oh, whoever wins the Rumble gets the main event, and then she wins it doesn't get the main event. And then we have Becky and Rhea on the other side. Like we have a main event type of caliber match, but not the main event either. And it's like, well, yeah, it's happening.
Yeah, it's happening, and we have nothing right now. It's just like, poor thing. Oh yeah, and like, yeah, you have a great point. We don't even have this.
Yeah,
the whole
I thought
thing,
it would have started this week.
at least on Monday. Or you
Yeah,
could have
I
started
think
you could have started at in Australia. You could have gave the first person in Australia. That was key on your premium live event. That could have been key. You didn't have to wait till like our regular TV shows or NXT. You could have just done it on our pay-per-view, the first one. It's like, and what do we usually do? Like 3 to 4 people for like for the Hall of Fame, correct? We have the Warrior Award, and then we have like our 3 other people, and it's just like,
let's do one per show and one for Raw, one for SmackDown, starting next week.
I mean, I guess that's still like,
I know
that's right. I know they keep giving video packages like, oh, it's a 4-day event. Make sure you be there. Tickets available. This and this and that. Well, we ain't got what's the 4 events that like you want us to buy our money? Like, you got the NXT show at 12. Like, Saturday's gonna be a long day. I mean, long. I don't even know how I'm gonna get through it, girl. Like,
no, a lot of coffee and energy drinks.
Coffee and energy, yeah. That sounds about, yeah. Might have to, because I don't know how. And then the show is, well, they started even earlier, starting at 7 now. So it's like, sheesh. Both nights are starting at 7. Lord, like, this is gonna be a 10 match. 10 matches probably each night. I'm like, oh my god, how I'm gonna be asleep. I I don't want to go to sleep. But yeah, honestly, I mean, who knows? But yeah. Then for our last match, we had KO come out. He joins the commentator team. I never knew I loved KO on the commentating team so much. Like, every time he's on it, he's so good, and I think he gets better as he do. Don't make him be like Samoa Joe did, and just make him stay there. Like, don't do that. We don't want you to do that unless he's like injured or something. But he's so good, and he was just like so antagonized to Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. It was so good. Like, yeah, it's so funny that he was like, oh, I'm gonna untie his shoe. Like, it's little things, like little nuggets like that from KO. And then you forget, oh yeah, Randy Orton's in the whole match with Austin Theory. That's because you hit him on the.
And this one also is an extension of that KO we got during the Chamber. Like, I seen the clips that they posted on social media of when Randy's on top of Bobby's pod. He's like, Bobby, there's somebody up there. Bobby's like,
yes,
yes.
And I remember
it's just the little bits and pieces that you love from him.
Yes, and it's just like so authentic, just to see him like in the element. I think that's like true KO fashion, like just being a jokester, just like being like, hey. And I remember like him kept pointing, but no one showed it like during the match because we couldn't hear what they were saying at the time, like because you had people's music. I guess they get blurted out. But once they showed the behind scene, and then Bobby just like, they're like, ain't this about it? Like, well, of all pods, you had to come on top of my pod. Like, why you gotta like? He's like, yeah, like.
And I love in this match too when he just tells Randy, he's like, hit him on the table. Like, I want you on the table to him. And he's like, I'm begging you, please do it.
And he's like,
little tips that you get from him. It's just amazing to watch.
he said, "Oh, go do Theory." I mean, to do Grayson. He can do it too. Do him, and he did him. It was just like so funny. I think Randy wanted to laugh, but he was trying to stay in character. And he sold the RKO so very well. God bless the people that sell the RKO, because that's a job in itself, that you have to sell this move and get caught. Very, very done. Done. But of course, Theory lost. Of course, that we knew that was not going to be any other way. We knew Randy would win. Randy just came back, and hey. But overall, what do you give this episode of SmackDown, my dear?
That's so tough, because I feel like I enjoyed like what happened after the promo. It just obviously because the promo going too long, I feel like it affected everything else and it went a little bit too short in that aspect. So I want to give it maybe an 8 out of 10 if I could point it that way, because I like card in itself. It just, I know it didn't have time to develop tonight.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 8 out of 10. That's not bad. I'm gonna give it. The promo did take away points, but the ending saved it, I feel like. So I'm going to give it a 7.5. It could have been a solid 8. B- is not bad. I like that. That's a good one, George. Yeah. B-. I think a solid B-. It was still a good show. Wasn't as good as the last shows, but I feel like because of this long promo and the whole 40 minutes, drawing us out, I was tired. I was like, come on. Yeah. Oh my gosh, they said it was a D? Ah. Wow. Before Bailey 1991. Whoa. That is whoa, okay. Someone said they're giving it a B. Okay, Gregory, we like that. D is really, really sorry. I hate to be on your board of trustees to make you happy. But other than that, I mean, solid show. Wasn't as good as the last shows leading up to when we were just right after Rumble, but still going ahead. Is still giving decent shows, giving lots of. We had 4 matches, which was cool. They seem rushed, but overall for the show, not bad. Hopefully we're gonna get more nuggets for next week to lead us in, because this thing is Mania will be here in a minute. We're gonna blink. And it's going to be here. We just started March. So that means it's this thing is going to go high speed in weeks. I guarantee it. We're going to be like, oh my God, slow down. And it's gonna,
yeah, I want to also highlight Jeffrey's comment. The sensory took me out at some points. I felt the same way too, because at first I thought it was something with my connection, but seeing so many times that the screen went black during
I thought it was mine. Okay,
that made me not connect to it. Yeah, it made me disconnect from it as well.
And then also the sound was going out as well too. I don't know if they were cussing or they were doing, but the TV. I was like, I know, I paid the cake. It's not rain. There's not no bad. What is happening that right now? I thought it was my connection. I was like, oh my God, the Wi-Fi is terrible. OMG. But okay, so that was the thing for everybody. So much connectivity issues going on along for everyone, phones. Everything has been very weird these last few weeks with connections and all this stuff. So maybe that might have been it. I thought it was my TV, but I'm happy. Thank you for that, Gregory. And you too, Astrid. I didn't even know that you guys had an issue on your end, because I thought it was just me alone. But I guess
no, I'm not the only person, that's another thing that made me not be able to concentrate on the promo either. Because being able to see it, not see it, see it, not see it, and that back and forth. And you said not only the video but the audio too. And I thought at first it was my iPad, and then I went on Twitter. I could see everybody talking the same thing, and it made me not be able to concentrate on what was happening. It's I don't like it when you cut it in and out the way you did. And I feel not only that, but it was awkward from the get go. First, the Roman calling out the wrong name of the city, and then Heyman going, "We're gonna get the Rock after this commercial break," and then the commercial comes in and the Rock's music is already playing as it was, and then that on top of it, I was the timing was
it was very off. And then the Rock messed up a little bit on his promo too, just a tinge. He was supposed to, he said, I forgot what he said. He was supposed to say cactus and he said something else or whatever. He said something wrong, and I was like, okay, Rock, you got to do a little bit more practice, or don't get too winded, or don't have such long promos. You don't need to do. you're the Rock. Just be the Rock. Like, let it just be organic. Like, I think you're overhyping yourself or making yourself like be such a heel. Like, you're not gonna be the heel from the back then. Just be a heel for like right now and just like roll with it. If you do that, I promise you it'll get easier.
Yeah. No,
Like,
it just
go ahead.
not only that, but he had a moment too. I forgot exactly what he said, but he pointed at the crowd and he's like, "Oh, you're not gonna boo The Rock," and I was like, that already took me. I was like, don't give them more time to boo you because you're gonna take longer to talk too. And I was like, don't wait for that, just keep going. So
Right,
there's
don't
like
wait for
those
the
little
crowd's
things of like,
reaction.
yeah. Yeah, that's why I like more the ending because the ending was the part where we had no interruptions, and I felt like it was better in that ending there too, more than the beginning of it.
Definitely. We don't need we just need you to be just natural. Like, you don't have to like put on this performance. Like, you're already wearing the shirts, you're doing old school stuff. You don't even have to wear the old school shirts to be a heel for us. Like, just be the Rock. Like, be what we know you can be. Like, go out there, give your your signature stuff and just like let it flow. Or you could be an updated 2024 version, or like that's the old that I was young back then. I'm old, I got money, like I'm on the board now. I can run this. I can run the shit out of this place. Like, you don't. It could be so organic that I think they're missing that part of it. It's still good, but it could be so much better.
Yeah,
So,
that's why I think the ending was definitely the best part of it.
mhm.
Like the second half of it was the best part of it. But yeah, it was not great to begin with. But like I said, just the part of like the card afterwards is definitely what helped the rest of the show.
Yeah, this is happening. It's just when it's going to happen. Is it going to be during the tag match? Like, and it's like, okay, how or why do we want to show that The Rock is going to turn on the family? Is he going to be? He's not going to be like Jay, because Jay was like in it for different reasons. The Rock comes. How can we show this picture? Like, I mean, how can we paint this picture? Excuse me. So, will Cody finish the story? I don't know. I don't even know how to begin. I would hope to see that happens, because why make him win the Rumble twice to lose?
Yeah.
I mean, I want him to surpass the record, but I don't know how we get there without having it be some type of like mishap. The
Yeah, and
only
it's a
thing
bloodline. It's gonna happen.
Right. The only thing I can say, or probably like what Cody did or say in his documentary, and I remembered a lot, where he remembered his dad getting the belt, but he had the belt and he won, and they probably might do that same scenario and say, no, you didn't win. Roman won. So I feel like that's how it goes, and it plays on to it. So we'll see. Other than that, thank you all so much again for joining us for Know Your Role. This has been a What do you think is going to happen leading up to where we get next week?
I definitely one thing that I would like to see overall. I want to see Bailey get that backup because I feel like it's a little bit lonely for Bailey right now. So that's one thing I definitely want to see happening. Uh, I feel like the other thing we're probably gonna get is probably Cody and Seth accepting the challenge from The Rock sometime next week.
Oh
It's
yeah,
another thing I'm
yeah.
expecting.
What if they came to SmackDown like, no, we wanted to give you our offer in person? Because he was like, oh, get the lawyers and everything. Like, no, we don't need no lawyers. I'll just come to you myself. Like, that'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. He talked a whole lot of crap about Seth. So let Seth come on, wobble him down, and let him just do with his bad back and do it, because remember Seth. So these guys got like two matches. So Seth's gonna have two matches. Cody has two matches. Wow, we're doing this. This has never happened before. All these guys going back to back nights. So he has to go against Drew and this and this and that. Like this is a lot happening. Like, whoa. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, all three having two matches. Yeah,
We've never had. I mean, we've had tournaments. We've never had something like this. Good for
yeah.
you
I think the
guys.
only time I kind of remember it happening was I forgot what match it was, but I know it was Natty and Tamina won night one to get a shot at night two for the women's tag match.
Right.
That's the only,
Yes.
I think that's the only
That
one.
wasn't last year. I think it was the year before last.
I think so. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it
I
was
think
at
that's the only time I think
37.
I've seen people. Yeah, I've seen two people doing both 2 matches on both nights. I mean, a match on both nights. I think it's the only time, maybe. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, anywho, thanks guys for tonight's show. We really, really appreciate you. Astrid, just please tell the lovely people where they can follow you, find you, see where all your stuff is at, and where you will be soon.
Yeah, you can find me on like my Twitter's like my name, Astrid Pizarro, and my YouTube channel. That's the same thing as well. You can find me a lot of my writing on BodySlam and hopefully some other stuff coming up soon. So we'll see. I'm waiting for Cassidy. This hints, Cassidy.
Yes, Cassie, don't hold our girl back. Like let her stuff go out there. Guys, thank you so much again. Again, I'm Miss Krissi Luv. You can follow me on Twitter, which is True Hell Krissi Luv. Other than that, it's Krissi Luv _1. Join me tomorrow on my flagship show on True Hell Heat YouTube channel at 11:05 a.m. with SP3 and JM Punk. We'll be there tomorrow talking about all this week's wrestling. We really appreciate you guys. Stephanie and I will be back next week. So be here, be squared. Astrid, thank you again for filling in last minute. So thankful for you because I would have done this solo. But other than that, we really appreciate you for coming, and you could join us back here anytime. We could have a good girls' night and have drinks or whatever. But other than that, guys, you all have a great night, and we will see you all next week. Laters.